Meeting to order. Ariel, would you call the roll, please?
Dave Burris.
Here.
Randy Graham.
Here.
J.R. Huddleston.
Here.
Deborah Johnston.
Here.
Bill Lukens.
Here.
Craig Romey.
Present.
Gary Telkamp.
Here.
Linda Varvel. Here.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You betcha.
Remember, in our standing order, council, if you have a conflict of interest, please let the rest of the council know before you vote. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the November 3rd council meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the November 3rd council meeting.
Second.
Dave. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And a motion to approve the bills in between.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills in between for $237,689.29.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And a motion to approve the current claims.
I make a motion to approve the current claims, $47,853.17.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Communications from the public. Do we have anybody that'd like to address the council tonight? Come on down, Gary. Need your name and address, please, for the record?
Gary Romey. I'm a rancher out by Hot Springs where Fall River comes in Cheyenne. I'm the one that irrigates with your effluent water. So I know most of you probably, I was kind of interested really reading the paper that the contract has gone on for 40 years. The first 20-year contract, and then there was a 10-year renewal and then another 10-year renewal. The contract starts over again in May, and I was assuming that we were just going to sign and continue to go on over until I read the paper and find out that you're not really sure which direction we are going. So I was curious to why nobody had even contacted me on the contract and what your intentions or which direction you're thinking, if you want to discuss it, if you want to see the project, what. I'm kind of in the dark and I was kind of surprised.
So as we had talked about today, Gary, I didn't approach you about it because until council decides what they're going to do regarding the wastewater treatment plant, if they choose to not upgrade it, then sending the effluent your way is our only option. If they decide to approve it and we get the funding and that's the direction that we choose to go, then we have another option that needs to be discussed. So the first step.
Option of it, continue, once you upgrade it, to continue to send the effluent water out there or to go to Fall River.
Yeah, those would be the two options.
40 years ago, I was under the impression that it would save the city millions of dollars by irrigating with it versus going into Fall River. Has things changed since then? Is it more feasible that way? Because at that time, it wasn't feasible to make it pure enough to dump into Fall River. That's why we started the irrigation.
Yeah. I wasn't part of those original discussions, so I can't speak to those directly. And as you'd mentioned, not clean enough to discharge into the waters of the state. Well, that is an option with the new design of new plants, is to be able to do that. So again, until council decides which direction they're going to go on this, I just didn't think that I needed to jump the gun and have a discussion with you until we knew where they were going to go, whether the contract would continue in its current form or be modified, or whether we'd be looking at a more temporary contract to get us through the construction of the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay. I was assuming that we were just going to sign another 10-year contract or something like that, so I was kind of surprised. So I'm willing to talk to anybody that wants to see the project, interested, talk to me, whatever. Most people don't even know where it goes and they've never seen it, so. Okay, I'm available, anybody wants to talk about it, so, okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Anyone else want to address the council? All right. With that, can I get a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion to go into executive session in accordance with South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2-1 personnel.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. We'll rejoin you folks when we're done with executive session.
I think it did. The front driveway.
All right, Ariel, I had us leave an executive session at 6:26. And if we round up, let's reconvene at 6:30. Can I get a motion to approve personnel actions adding a new personnel action item I?
I make a motion to approve personnel actions, item A through I, adding I as Ariel Allison, full-time city administrator, third step, 2905, effective 11/18/25.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
As I often say, congratulations or condolences. Let us know somewhere down the road.
I will.
10 years from now, though.
All right, we'll move on to our resolutions. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2025-25?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2525, a resolution to surplus 2 cords of pine firewood wood from the Southern Hills Golf Course.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And our final resolution, item B, Resolution 2025-26. Can I get a motion to approve that one?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-26, a resolution to support the proposed sculpture installation by Joe Foss at Chautauqua Craftsman and Artisan of the Black Hills along Fall River near the Minnetonka Avenue Bridge.
Second.
I think Craig.
Yeah, Craig beat me.
Craig won. Discussion.
It was my understanding when this was brought in front of Historic Preservation that this in here says on the west side of Fall River, but it was my understanding it was going, and it mentions in here the flag display and the memorial bench. Those are actually on the east side of the bridge.
Correct.
So that might need to be amended.
Yes. This was discussed at Historic Preservation, and do they have a recommendation?
They said they approved it.
Okay.
There was lots of discussion that this idea was discussed when the Freedom Trail was first put in, that there was, one idea was to put sculptures like this all along the Freedom Trail. And so going forward, they talk about in this resolution wanting to do more of them down the road. I mean, they're not cheap, so it's not going to be a regular occurrence, I don't think. But that was one thing that had been to promote putting that trail in, was to put these types of things along the trail.
Yeah.
Little World War II history of Joe Foss. Him and Pappy Boynton were both Marine pilots, and they went back and forth on aerial kills, and they ended up tying it into the war.
Yeah. The Chautauqua Craftsmen and Artisans are working with a local artist to do bronzes, similar to what Rapid City has done as far as, honoring particular individuals, and Rapid City puts them on their street corners. This would be starting out by the Minnetonka Bridge. And what I think is important about this particular resolution is recognizing that as they raise money to put figures somewhere in the city, that they have to come in front of council and get every one of those locations approved. There was some discussion early on about putting them in the bump outs along Main Street, but we know that the state controls what can and can't go in those bump outs. So that's why I think that the language in this is important, that the city council has to approve every location that's proposed for these statues.
And being that he's a veteran, this is the veterans' town, that's one of the big reasons it was approved.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes.
He was? Oh, okay. Thank you for your efforts.
Is there anything you'd like to share with the council? Is there anything you'd like to share with the council regarding this?
I can if you have questions for me.
Name and address.
My name is Deb Ahrens. I'm the board chair of Chautauqua Craftsmen and Artisans of the Black Hills. And we just felt like we needed more public art, and this was a place to start. We liked Joe Foss because he was a World War II hero, governor of our state, has done so many things for us. And we thought that the perfect location would be, I didn't realize my east and west, and I get mixed up in the town, so if that can be amended, that would be great. But we thought that was the perfect place for it. Right at the base of the Minnetonka Street, going up to the state home with the freedom flags and the memorial bench. And then in the future, we would like to do more. And we understand that everyone that we do, we would need to go to probably the Preservation Commission first, and then bring it to the City Council, and we do understand that. And yes, because of the price of them, it's going to take us a long time. So we'll just do one at a time, and if money falls out of the sky or we get some big donors, we might be able to do it faster. But we really appreciate that you're working with us.
Is this a full statue?
Yes, he'll be about 6.5 feet tall and weighs over 500 pounds. And so everything has been lined up in the process of what will be done. The only thing that I foresee, if I'm allowed to come to the city, I know it says that you aren't going to be responsible for anything, but the bench does need to be moved over just a little bit. And could I come back to the city when we get to that point and talk about having it moved?
Yes.
Okay.
While we have you there, and it's on film and people are watching, can you tell us the best way to donate money so we can help you with your future endeavors?
Approximate cost of the statue?
Yes, the approximate cost is $85,000. We have a maquette that is done already. We would like to have that bronzed as well. And what a maquette is it's about 3 foot tall and is the same statue that, you know, if somebody wants to buy as a souvenir. But they can go on our website, chautauquablackhills.org, and we have a donate button that anybody that would like to donate to this project would greatly appreciate it. And thank you for letting me plug that.
No, you need to plug that because you need all the help you can get.
Yes, we do.
I'm
Thank you.
greatly in favor of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Deb, my apologies for not recognizing you and giving you the opportunity to come down and talk.
Oh, that's okay. Now I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. On to our new business items. New business item A is a discussion only, and it's about the proposed or the postponed November 13th wastewater treatment plan public hearing. I'd reached out to a number of you folks on council. Bill, thank you for reaching out to, I think it's Linda and JR that you had talked with about this. I just wanted to go over again with you folks and the public of why we ended up canceling last Thursday night. If you all remember, Thursday was a day that we had some electrical activity in town. The first one, I don't remember exactly when, but maybe a little after lunch, 1 o'clock-ish. We lost electricity. It was off for about an hour, maybe. Then it came back on. After it came back on the second time, I came down to the Mueller Center to start getting ready for the meeting on Thursday night, to get the projector set up, get the computer hooked up, figure out how to work with PowerPoint, get it lined up with the screen that would have come down here. And it was about 15 minutes into that process, and the electricity went out again. And it was nice and, well, not bright outside, but it was light outside, and it was dark in this theater. And it became apparent that the emergency lights didn't work in the theater. They didn't work anywhere out in the lobby area. And we had some folks from AE2S, two of their engineers that were going to drive down and be part of the presentation. We had a lady from the Black Hills Council of Local Governments that was going to come down and be part of the presentation. They needed to leave Rapid City about 5:30 to get down here to be ready for the meeting. So as I'm looking around thinking, it's pretty dark in here. I didn't have any confidence, given that we had already been without electricity for twice, the second time being a longer event than the first time, that if we filled this room, which I hope we still will, and we'll, in the next agenda item, we'll talk about the next steps, because that one was canceled. I wasn't at all comfortable with filling this room and having the electricity go out again, and then figuring out how we're going to evacuate it with no emergency lights. So at that point, I decided to cancel the meeting. Came down here, 6-ish. Ariel had done a good job of getting the message out that the meeting was canceled. I want to appreciate or thank Chris for putting the cancel notice on the marquee out here after the Lucanses asked me, shouldn't there be a cancel on it? So we got those taken care of. But again, the folks from Rapid need to leave about 5:30. We didn't have any electricity at 5:30. So the question's been put to me is, well, why did you cancel it? We had electricity after 6 o'clock. Well, the decision needed to be made before 6 o'clock. So that's why the meeting was canceled, and been working with Ariel and the folks from AE2S and Black Hills Council of Local Governments to get the meeting rescheduled. But I just wanted to update you folks once again, and for the public, why that meeting got canceled. Any questions? So we'll move on to new business item B. And we need a motion to approve an amended new business item B. And what would be changed, or what needs to be changed on that is it would be Friday, December 12th, 2025 at 5:30 PM, rather than December 3rd. Ariel printed up the new notices that have gone out to the paper. So what's different in your packet? On the first one, which talks about the notice of public hearing, City of Hot Springs, South Dakota Wastewater System Improvements Project. What changes on that? The second to last sentence changes from Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 to Friday, December 12th, 2025. And then on the other one, the notice of public hearing for City of Hot Springs. Couple changes there. In your packet, it makes reference again to Wednesday, December 3rd. In the second paragraph and in the third paragraph, that changes to Friday, December 12th. And then in the third paragraph, second sentence, in yours, it says this project will/will not result in the displacement of. What's been changed is this project will not. So will was removed. This project will not result in the displacement of any persons or businesses. Why did we pick December 12th? And what's the impact to the change? The state requires a 10-day notice to the public of these types of hearings. So because the meeting was canceled, we had asked Jennifer Sietsma with Black Hills Council of Local Governments if we could just reschedule and that would be okay. She checked with the state and said no. The state said no. It was canceled. You have to go through the whole process again. So as we looked at working with AE2S and the Black Hills Council of Local Governments, the first date that worked for the both of them is Friday, December 12th at 5:30 p.m. That gives us plenty of time, and Brett, thank you for working with us to get the notice to you on short notice, but to get it published. So having it published in this week's paper meets the requirement to have the 10-day public hearing so that AE2S and Black Hills Council of Local Governments can attend that meeting. How will the meeting go? The city has some slides that we'll talk about, kind of at the 10,000-foot level of the process. When we're done with those, AE2S has some slides that they'll use as part of their presentation. And then the Black Hills Council of Local Governments will talk about the funding process, the funding sources, and how that works. After that, we'll open it up to council questions for you folks to ask any questions from your review of your homework, your 137-page review. So you should be able to ask your questions. And then after that, we'll open it up to the public so that they can ask any questions. What changes significantly in having the meeting on the 12th versus last Thursday was by having it last Thursday, we've talked with you, I believe, about the surveys that we want the public to fill out. By having it last Thursday, there would have been plenty of time for those surveys to come back We're going to keep those open until November 25th, so that then we could collect that information, get it together for you in a packet to help inform your decision of where you want to go with this. Because the applications to the state need to be in by January 1st, and the Black Hills Council of Local Governments are the folks that prepare that submission. They need time to be able to fill out the paperwork, to get it ready to be submitted. And the drop dead date for them is December 15th. So we're having the public hearing on December 12th. So what needs to change is there will be an agenda item added to that hearing for council to make the decision about whether you want to move forward with the funding request. So you're not going to know how the public weighs in on it, but after reading your document, you should have a good idea of whether you feel it's necessary or not. So that will be on the agenda for the December 12th, and that's ahead of the council meeting on December 15th. No, yeah, December 15th. So it'll be at the December 15th meeting that you would then need to approve the minutes from the December 12th meeting. So again, the significant change is, I was always going to ask you to make the decision anyway, but you won't initially have the time for the public to respond. But there's still time for the public to respond. We're going to open up the survey the night of the 12th, and we'll leave that survey open through January 15th, so that they'll actually have a longer period, the public will have a longer period to respond to the survey than they would have had we done it last Thursday. And as Jim Jones had told us when he met with us, there is still off-ramps to us, to you as a council, saying, no, you don't want the funding. Again, what this does is say that we want to submit the application for the funding. Then depending on whether we get any funding, whether the state gives us any, what the amount is, then there's another opportunity to look at the dollar figure and say, no, we don't want to accept this funding. So the public will still have an opportunity to weigh in on whether they like the idea or not. You as council won't have an opportunity to hear from them before you make your decision.
I don't know about anybody else, but I've already heard from some of them.
Ariel, did I miss anything from our conversations we've been having?
No, I just still need a motion and a second. But I think you caught it all.
Okay. All right. So Ariel needs a motion and a second.
Make a motion to amend the public notice of public hearing, City of Hot Springs, changing, excuse me.
Just go ahead and read this one.
Oh, hang on.
Date.
I got it right there.
Yep.
Can't imagine that. Smarter than I look. I'd like to propose a motion to approve to set a special meeting for the public hearing to be held at the Mueller Civic Center on Friday, December 12th at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the wastewater treatment plant, WWTP facilities improvement, plan costs, and funding.
Second.
I was so anxious to explain, I forgot about actually having a motion.
And I was so interested in listening to you, what you wanted to have changed on the motion, that I forgot that I'd written it here.
So again, any other questions? Again, council, the significant change to this is you were always going to have to make a decision whether you wanted to move forward with the funding or not. You're just not going to have the public initially to weigh in and help you with your decision. But there will be an opportunity if the public is just adamantly opposed to it, to say no, once we know whether we're approved for the funding and how much of the funding we would be approved for, how much assistance we'd be approved for.
There's a very short turnaround time there, in my understanding, for us to have a drop dead deadline date to get the application in, correct?
Yes.
Now, we have a mechanism to get that to them by that drop dead deadline date? I mean, are we just going to email our application, say, hey, please open it till they do while we got them on the phone? Or?
Yeah, the drop dead date is for the Black Hills Council of Local Governments. They need to see that you've approved the public hearing, and then at the end of that public hearing, again, the presentation would be made by the city, by AE2S, the engineering firm that put together the facility plan, and then the Black Hills Council of Local Governments to talk about the funding, how that works. And it's at that meeting that you're going to need to make your decision, depending on what you've heard from the public and what you understand of the facility plan itself, whether you want to vote to move forward with requesting funding assistance from the state of South Dakota. Once you've done that, if it's no, you don't want to move forward with it, then we're done with the conversation. If it's yes, that you want to move forward with it, either way, the minutes of that meeting need to be approved on December 15th. And if it's yes, you want to move forward, then the Black Hills Council of Local Governments begins the process of preparing the application and getting it ready to be submitted to the state on January 1st.
You call roll on this one or what?
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions? Going once? Ariel, would you call the roll, please?
Gary Telkamp,
Yes.
Linda Varvel,
Yes.
Dave Burris,
Yes.
Randy Graham,
Yes.
J.R. Huddleston,
Yes.
Deborah Johnston,
Yes.
Bill Lukens,
Yes.
Craig Romy.
Yes.
The motion passes. Thank you, Council. On to new business, item C. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the construction engineering services agreement?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the mayor to sign the construction engineering services agreement with Bros Engineering, Inc. for services related to the replacement, approach grading, surfacing, erosion and sediment control, and incidentals of the Minnetonka Bridge at an estimated cost of $359,640.
Second.
Discussion? Austin, I believe you had some thoughts and recommendations for council on this one?
Yeah, just briefly on this contract, all I'm wanting to add is just an appropriations clause, because we're looking like we're going past or across calendar years. So that's what I would just recommend, that you approve it with the additional appropriations clause language. I don't see Bros having an issue with that. We do it in like every contract we do have. So if you want to vote on that tonight, I'd recommend you do, and then we would add the clause later on.
And could you explain what an appropriation clause is?
Basically, for budgeting and such, we need to, it's based on funding for that year. So for municipalities, we got to look at budgeting and if it, depending on if we have available funds for that year. So this is, I think the end date is January 2027, I think is what that says. So just because we're not only doing 2026, that's why I'd like to have that in there.
Cover ourselves.
Do I need to
Thank you.
amend anything, or?
Austin, do you feel that the motion needs to be amended?
You might as well amend it, because we would change that contract for that piece. Like, so I guess, with the mechanics of it, just,
I just have at the end to include an appropriations clause.
that's all I need.
I approve that adjustment.
My draft.
Does the second agree?
Yep, I'll second the second.
Perfect.
Anyone else?
And just for clarification, because last meeting, Bros was here and stated what the actual bridge replacement was, which was a little less than we expected. This is for Bros's fees for administering the contract, which is on top of the cost of the bridge.
Yes, this is separate, and we'll pay 100% of it, and then the DOT will reimburse 80% of that to the city, so.
So DOT will reimburse 80% of
Yes.
this 300 and...
Our share ends up being $71,928.
Okay, thank you for that
But
clarification.
we'll pay it all and then get money back.
Thank you. Feel much better now.
Anyone else?
I feel better too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. New business item D. Can I get a motion to approve and authorize the finance officer to accept the quote from Toter for 100 garbage can lids?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the finance officer to accept the quote from Toter for 100 garbage can lids at a cost of $2,750. Will be covered with a future supplemental appropriation from the Solid Waste Fund unrestricted net position.
Second.
Discussion.
Why do we need 100 garbage can lids?
100 of them are broken.
And they have spares for, future repair.
It was a little shorter than it needed to be, wasn't it?
Well, we all know you.
The lids break off easily.
Especially in the
We'd
wintertime.
rather repair them than buy the whole new thing.
Yeah. And it's not just the lid part too. Sometimes you have to replace the slide bar it goes through and it holds the lid on. Mainly because people will put stuff so heavy in there, when it comes falling out, it slams the lid and breaks them.
And this is on the agenda because it wasn't budgeted. We didn't
Right.
plan for it. Otherwise, it would just show up in the bills.
But there's always money set aside from the bills and everything for this.
Right. Well, it's unrestricted net position,
Yeah.
so savings.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Can I get a motion to approve new business item E, an automatic budget supplement to the general fund police departments?
I'll make a motion to approve an automatic budget supplement to general fund police department, $4,477.43 to 101-42100-42610 for reimbursement of expenses related to the law enforcement tactical training, equipment, supplies project, reimbursement revenue received from Edward Bryn Memorial JAG grant funding number 2022-BJAG-09, number 4.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And our last new business, item F. Can I get a motion to set a public hearing on December 1st, 2025 at 5:40 PM?
Make a motion to set a public hearing on 12/1/25 at 5:40 PM on the special sale alcoholic beverage license application form from Boys and Girls Club of Hot Springs for Wine and Wreath fundraiser event to be held on 12/12/25 at the Mammoth site, 1800 US Highway 18, Highway Bypass.
Second.
I think Linda got in under the wire. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. Under committee reports, Administrative and Finance, JR, Gary?
Admin Finance Committee meeting was held at 1 PM, rescheduled for Wednesday, November 12th at 1 PM at the Mueller Center. Meeting began at 1 PM. Mayor Bob Nelson, in attendance, Mayor Bob Nelson, Chair J.R. Huddleston, Co-Chair Gary Telkamp, Councilwoman Deborah Johnston, Finance Officer Misty Summers Walton. Old business number 1, reviewed lighting maintenance contract that expires in 3/1 of 2026 and determined it is not in the city's best interest to continue past the expiration. Finance officer will write a letter of notice to not review or renew. Item number 2, reviewed proposed personnel policy updates due to House Bill 1218 and House Bill 1259, both passed during the 2025 legislative session. Committee recommends removing the weapons prohibition section in its entirety and to make no changes relating to House Bill 1259 regarding restroom designations and access. The only other change recommended is to add the word itemized to the section 6.7.6, receipts required for reimbursement. 2 other proposed changes were reviewed and denied. One was to add redundant language to the employee and training section under 3.1, and the other was to section 7.111, administrative leave shortening the time an employee who is scheduled to work during the granted leave to use it from 30 days to within the pay period. New business number 1. Committee reviewed and discussed an email from the city attorneys regarding the current fee arrangement and options proposed by the firm. Due to an increase in the amount of work being requested, the firm outlined the following options: increase monthly retainer from $5,000 to $6,500 and continue with services at current level. Approve a smaller increase with services provided up to a set number of hours billed at $250 an hour, with non-emergent work deferred to following month, or maintain existing $5,000 monthly fee with the understanding that the firm will limit services to approximately 20 hours per month. The committee agreed to proceed with option 3 and requested clarification from the firm regarding how attorneys' hours are tracked and whether the city is billed for the attendance of multiple attorneys at council meetings or pre-meeting consultations. Also discussed were ways to minimize attorney contact when possible and to be mindful of the firm's time limitations when requesting assistance. The finance officer will follow up with the firm for additional information. Number 2, reviewed 2026 SDML Workers' Compensation Fund renewal of $91,743. This is an increase of $13,795 over 2025 and over the amount budgeted by $8,000. The committee discussed the reasons for the increase, which included increased wages and an increase in the fund modifier, which is an adjustment factor applied to our premium that reflects the insurer's assessment of your account's overall cost, risk, or fund participation status. We will need to supplement budgets to cover the increased cost in a number of departments' funds. Number 3, reviewed and discussed South Dakota Codified Law 35-4-103, which allows counties and municipalities to impose an annual license fee of up to $50 for each video lottery machine located within our jurisdiction. The committee agrees the city should draft and present an ordinance enacting the additional license fee for video lottery machines at the rate authorized by statute, $50 annually per machine, to the full council for consideration. Number 4, reviewed and discussed a quote from Toter to purchase 100 replacement lids at a total cost necessary after speaking with the service provider employee responsible for collecting solid waste, and it was determined that an inquiry should be made each year during budgeting to determine future year's needs to avoid unbudgeted expenses in the future. This supplemental appropriation will come from the Solid Waste Fund to be on the second and final 2025 supplemental appropriation ordinance. Staff reports and updates. Number 1, mayor items were none. Number 2, the finance officer reports monthly financials presented at 11/5 council meeting. Discussed employee with grandfathered payment of 50% of cost of family health insurance and recent changes that will exceed 2026 budget authority. Also discuss need to possibility open an account with First Interstate to continue utilizing them for coin counting from the water loading dock. The meeting ended at 2:20 p.m. Subject to your questions.
Gary, anything you want to add?
I don't have anything to add. Very good.
Council, any questions? Thank you. Airport planning team, Bill?
Date and time to be determined.
Thank you. Custer Fall River Regional Waste Management, Craig?
Our next meeting, well, our meeting was last Thursday. Our next meeting's 11/13 at 6:30 this Thursday.
Thank you. Historic Preservation, Deborah?
Historic Preservation met Wednesday the 5th at 5 p.m. Present were Christine Heidebrink, Carl Hall, Mike Summer, Joe Nicochet, Luke Broyles. Staff were Wesley Foss, myself, and Mayor Bob Nelson. Guests were Perry Holmes, Kimberly Alley, Gary and Brenda Telkamp, and Glenn Cheatham. Under public comment, Perry Holmes was present on behalf of the Lions Club to request the Pioneer Museum sign be replaced. The issue was already on the agenda to be discussed in new business. Wesley indicated there have been some improvements on 143 South Chicago Street, which is the Petty Building. There's been new paint and new windows up above. It's looking so much better. Under new business, there was no old business. Under new business, certificate of appropriateness for 319 North River Street, which is the Fargo Mercantile Building. Kimberly Alley, the owner, was present to present her certificate request to replace the exterior door leading to the upstairs rental units. A motion was made by Luke and approved by all. And then number 2 was certificate of appropriateness, North River Street between Polished Salon and the vacant lot near the staircase. Pioneer Museum sign. A certificate of appropriateness was presented to replace the old museum sign near the staircase on North River Street that had been taken down after the fire. A motion was made and seconded and approved. Number 3, resolution to place a bronze statue of Joe Foss. Mayor Bob Nelson presented the following resolution for input from HPC. Quote, a resolution to support the proposed sculpture installation by Chautauqua craftsmen and artisans of the Black Hills along Fall River near the Minnetonka Avenue Bridge. This statue would be the first in a planned series of sculptures honoring individuals of distinction from South Dakota. The nonprofit organization Chautauqua Craftsmen and Artisans intends to secure all project funding through private sponsorships and donations with no financial contribution requested from the city of Hot Springs. Motion was made and seconded and carried. Staff reports and update. Deborah presented on behalf of Save Our Sandstone. The QR codes for the buildings have been completed and they have started installing them on the buildings. Visuals were provided, including a brief glimpse of the website and information available to those accessing it. Committee commissioner member comments. Carl initiated conversation regarding the continued lack of maintenance on the 3 vacant lots on North River Street. The lots continue to be an eyesore downtown and need to be addressed. And Wesley voiced that he would be doing that. Fundraising ideas discussed to include a dinner theater, rummage sale, or art night, art walk. Ideas regarding budget-specific projects to present to the city and potentially obtaining some funding included plaques or an engineering study on retaining the hillside behind the businesses and sandstone structures along River Street. The next meeting will be December 3rd, 5 p.m. at Mueller Center, and the meeting was adjourned at 6:16.
Any questions for Deborah? Thank you. Evans Plunge Advisory, Linda.
The Evans Plunge Advisory Committee met Thursday, November 13th at noon at the Evans Plunge. Attendees were Tom Nas, Lily Broyles, Kari Mullock, Gabby Martin, and myself. Old business, a plan had been presented for rate changes effective January 1st, 2026. The public may check the city website for these rates. We plan on reincorporating past specials in the future. We had no new business. Staff reports and updates. Operations, we have been steady but slow. The Plunge did participate in the Merchants Trick or Treat this year and had a fair number of treaters. Guard class training and recertification is coming up. We will be closed Thanksgiving Day and a Black Friday special may be possible. For the month of December, we will have a punch card special, buy 2, get 1 free. Equipment and fitness, no changes or issues. We have budgeted in 2026 for a new treadmill. We are good on roof repairs, hopefully. And the edit note at the end of this, as this meeting adjourned, the electricity went off and we had to go to the dressing rooms and pool area to evacuate people as it is very dark in the dressing room. Swim lessons, class, team, not sure if there will be a mommy and me group during Christmas break at this time. A review of monthly incidents. Other than the power outage, there has been no incidents. Committee member comments. The chairman gave kudos to the staff for all they do on a daily basis. The next meeting will be Thursday, December 11th, 2025 at noon, and we adjourned at 12:44. Any questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Parks, Recreation, and Beautification, Linda, Randy.
Parks and Recreation meeting Wednesday, November 5th, 1 p.m. Minutes attendees, Deborah Johnson, Mayor Bob Nelson, myself, Linda Varvel, Jason Migley, Gabby Martin, Gerald Colligan, Caitlin Mossett, Jason Ghosh, Chris Cowell, and Tracy Bastion. Public comments. Save Our Sandstone wishes to install an information placard on the handrail near Kidney, Hisega Springs gazebo with a QR code sticker on it, like they are doing with the buildings downtown. With the time change, the timer needs to be adjusted for the lights at the pickleball basketball courts. There are some bulbs burnt out. The batting cage locks are broken. Old business. Discussion, the Seven Sisters Seven Sisters Point of Interest Project, DOT has scheduled a road project in the area of the truck bypass for 2028. An aerial photo was submitted by Peg Spurlich for the plaque. We have name of company that had submitted a quote to Bob Jr. Number 2, Kidney Springs Gazebo. The city has the fiberglass columns. A reminder that 4 of the columns have I-beams in them. Seeking a contractor to slide the new columns into place, lifting the top off. 3, the food truck area in the North River was discussed. The city has no current plans for this area. We have not advised its availability for use or for sale. One suggested use was to construct a history board of the plunge. Number 4, the Butler Park soccer softball field fences. It has been determined that moving the fence line about 250 feet would encroach on the right-of-way, and the amount of the dirt brought in to keep the field level would affect the sight of the vision necessary for safe traffic flow. Number 5, Centennial Park stage, grass area, future tree planting. The city still needs access to the lower river area, so artificial turf will not be removed. Due to the Corps of Engineers requirements, there are no tree planting planned for the area. It was suggested by a member of the community to add a 220 amp electrical plug at the stage. New business, Fort Robertson Spiritual Outbreak Run. This will take place January 8th through the 14th, 2026. A local group will be contacting Yellowbird Lifeways Center to provide food for the runners when they arrive in Hot Springs. The Mueller Civic Center soccer field visit took place October 17th with Jacqueline, Tracy, Bart, and Linda. The school has proposed raising the fencing on the north side of the field behind the goal net to prevent balls from hitting cars. Install a training backboard on the west side of the field. Bring in another storage shed on the west side of the field, approved by group in attendance. City crews will revisit the seasonal wear on the grass next spring. Centennial Park fountain area. The dirt around the fountain needs removed in an effort to level it out for proper drainage of water and mowing. Staff reports and updates. Caitlin, banquet was on Friday. Lights in the Centennial Park will be placing solar string lighting in the Welcome Island across from Lynn's. Gabby, winter recreation registration, adult volleyball, starting pickleball, roller skating, things are working well with the school. Chris, just hosted the 8th Christmas Bazaar with 50 vendors, 15 to 20 people playing basketball, gymnastics, will be bringing in their equipment for the season. Christmas in the Hills is coming up with the 10th anniversary of Manager Melodies. Committee member comments, none. Next meeting, December 3rd, 2025 at 1 p.m. Adjourned at 2:15. Any questions?
You talked about the broken bulbs and the repair to the broken gate, and there was another item, I didn't get it written down, but did we have someone there that heard all this and was going to follow up on that and get that repaired?
I think Tracy was still there at that time when we discussed that.
And I believe it was Jason Midgley that was going to reach out to the baseball folks as far as the broken locks for their batting equipment, the batting cage. So yes.
Okay.
There were folks that were going to follow up on it.
Then our new city administrator, there'd probably be a follow-up on her part then, huh?
Sure.
I went past the park, the batting cage just the other day, and that thing that throws the balls, it's just sitting out there. It looks brand new, but I would hope that they would put a cover on it for the winter.
Yeah, it's a pitching machine.
It's a pitching machine, thank you. The ball thrower. Anyway, I hope someone will cover it so it is protected through the winter.
They used to put it inside the shed.
No, it's sitting out in the middle of the batting cage, exposed.
It doesn't change that it needs to be covered, but if it's any comfort, it's not city equipment, it's owned by the baseball group.
Yeah.
Linda, did you have anything you wanted to?
No, I'm good.
Thank you. Planning and zoning, Deborah?
Planning and zoning meets this Wednesday, the 19th, 6 PM at City Hall. Everyone's welcome.
Thank you. Safety, Bill, JR?
Okay, Safety Committee met on Thursday, November 6th, 1 PM at the Mueller Center. Present from the council were JR, myself, Deborah, and Gary, who arrived around 1:30, Mayor Nelson, who left around 1:45. From the PD was Officer Brandon Peterson, Safety Coordinator Tracy Bastian, Safety Technician Lori Sherrard, Fall River County Emergency Manager Dar Coy, and Assistant Emergency Manager Gary Baker. Members of the public present were Frank Burkholt. The agenda was adopted as published. Comments from the public. Frank Burkholt was present to discuss and question the city's intent to enforce the fireworks ordinance. He was provided with the update that Chief Norton had provided at an earlier meeting, and we continued to discuss the challenges with enforcing that ordinance. Under old business, the committee discussed possible revisions to the use permit on review portion of Title 15, Chapter 155.004 regarding family daycare providers. No recommendation was formed and discussion will continue. The committee was provided with an update on the facility use agreements with South Dakota Wildland Fire for the Mueller Center and Butler Park. Those agreements are nearly finalized and should come before council soon. Under new business, the 2026 deer harvest was discussed. Chief Norton will pursue a survey in the coming weeks to validate a need for a city access permit hunt in 2026. Staff reports and updates under the police department. Officer Del Rosario will attend Law Enforcement Training Academy beginning on November 24th. Safety coordinator update. Safety technician is working on an electrical safety training update for the maintenance department in November or December, depending on resource availability. And all expired hard hats have been replaced. Under committee comments, committee member comments, Emergency Manager Dar Coy informed the committee that the Integrated Public Alert Warning System, IPAWS, has been acquired by the county. IPAWS will work in conjunction with Code Red to provide emergency notifications, but will not require the individual to subscribe to the service. Right now, if you want emergency notifications, you have to subscribe to Code Red. With IPAWS, as long as you have your notifications on your phone turned on, and they push an emergency notification, IPAWS will notify you on your phone. So it'll be good for not only residents, but also people traveling through the community. Right now, out of all the Fall River residents, there are about 5,000 folks have subscribed to Code Red, which is really good. Then the year-to-date PD statistics were reviewed and discussed. There were no employee safety concerns reported. We adjourned at 2:15 p.m. and our next meeting will be Thursday, December 4th, 1 p.m. at the Mueller Center.
JR, want to add anything?
Nothing to add.
Thank you.
I got a question or a comment. Might get a hold of Ross tomorrow. That flashing light going up the viaduct isn't working, or it wasn't on today, so I guess the guy could have done 25 through the school zone.
Was there school today?
Well, there's cars all over up there.
Was there?
Does Ross take PD or does Streets take care of that?
PD used to take care of it.
I believe it's Streets doing the program right now. but
It wasn't working today. I didn't check the other end, but the one going up to Vidoc wasn't
What
working.
time of the day did you go up there? Because it
I
shouldn't
don't
be
know,
on when they're
10,
in the building.
10:30,
Huh, 11:30?
10:30.
So is it on when they're in the building?
Yeah.
So it's on all day?
It's on all day.
I guess you could have driven really fast just to check it.
I did. Nobody picked me up.
Okay. All right, thanks, Greg.
Nobody in town exceeds speed limits.
Huh?
Nobody in town exceeds posted speed limits.
I know. They're all good drivers.
All right. Anyone else? Thank you. Public Works, Dave, Craig?
Our next meeting, I believe, is on the 29th. Ariel, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
you know, I had the 25th in my drafts, but I've got like 3 of them that are wrong, so give me a second.
If you allow me to go home, it's on the calendar.
Yeah, it's on my calendar.
The 29th is a Saturday, so I do think it's the 25th.
Yeah, I have it for the
Tuesday.
25th.
Okay, 25th at 1 PM here at the Mueller, and everybody is welcome to come.
You want to change it to the 29th?
Sure.
Yep, and everybody who shows up, have a good meeting.
Thank you. Southern Hills Golf Course, we're not meeting again until the spring when the course opens back up. Ariel, anything from the finance office?
I want to thank you all for approving my hire into this role, and I look forward to continuing to serve the city of Hot Springs in this capacity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. An update, I had let you folks know that we had gotten a letter from the Department of Agricultural and Natural Resources that they had acknowledged our request to put the wastewater treatment plant and the drinking water improvements on the state water facilities plan. They didn't feel that there would be any problem with putting those on there. I got a letter today that those in fact have been placed on the state water plan, and they will continue to be on that plan until 2027. Just wanted to update you that that's been taken care of. Other than that, I don't have anything for you unless you have any questions for me.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Have a good evening, everyone.